Is it better to be creative or disciplined? I would say discipline, right? Because it's always a mental health game. Like, would you rather be an artsy student or a fucking high functioning lawyer?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with discipline because discipline is the only remedy to a lot of mental health issues. If you think about what depression is, what anxiety is, they require it's so paradoxical to think that these mental health issues can only be resolved by that um, by a different part of your brain. Like it's you that has to engage in it, right? We recognize addiction as a disease, but we also recognize that the treatment, the cure for that disease, uh, is a sense of discipline, a sense of motivation to want to stop and get sober. So I'm gonna go with the one that protects your mental health. Although creativity is kind of sick, like artsy. I'm surprised you say that, John, because you're an artist.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, a lot of philosophers have said that once you lose your sense of wonder and creativity, this death of your soul is next, right? That if you stop that creative process, you're stopping that innocent kind of childlike part of your brain. That neurogenesis happening starts to fade, right? And so, like high functioning lawyer who's just all about, let's say, numbers and his clients, right? Let's say a high functioning lawyer who's never creative, he can also fall into despair very easily, right? So you would have to be what a disciplined creative person.
Yeah, it's both. It's
Yeah.
both, or
Well, how do you be creative?
what do you mean? From like a
Yeah, like a lot of artists, musicians, blah blah blah. They'll use weed or something to get a little more creative, and it does work sometimes. But like, how do you keep creative, right? And because create to me, creative is curious about your work, right? Like if you're making a painting and you're not curious about that fucking painting,
yeah.
you're doomed.
So I'm. This is just off the dome right now, but in my mind, what I think of is you have to drop the societal stuff, all the restrictions that society places on us. What Freud called the superego. If you can sort of push that away, because I think that's sort of what like you're saying, like drugs kind of do, right? You stop caring about what other people think, right? And I feel like that opens up a different part of your brain. And we can get into like the
Whoa, whoa,
neuropsychology of
whoa.
it, but
So that would be like you would be like you'd be sober, but you'd be high. Like when you're high, you don't care what society thinks. You have to master that in a sober version.
you have to remove all the walls that we put up as the all the different ways that society sort of socializes us. Like if you think about it, we're animals, but
No,
we
we're
also have
not.
no. But listen to me, we're animals in the sense that we have the id, what Freud would call the id, and everybody better know that shit. This is like basic Psych
What is the
101,
id?
like the primal animal part of ourselves. Then we
Reptilian.
have the super ego, which is the opposite of that. It's the societal superstructures that we have. But imagine if you could find a way to tame that id without without those sort of societal blocks or whatever.
But isn't it weird how now the societal push hookup culture onto us? That's kind of like pushing the id and that beastly nature
Yeah.
back. It's like pumping it back into the masses.
Yeah, of course. This is the end of the West. That we're this is it. This is
Yeah.
it.
What if you live a life just for like Andrew Tate, just bitches and fucking partying and all that and discipline, but like let's say like a player. Can a player ever be can he Can he ever be complete like a 40-year-old? Let's say a 40-year-old guy who just has bitches. Because I always thought marriage would be the solution to that guy.
That's a good question. I don't know. What the hell? I don't know.
Yeah.
It probably doesn't work for everybody. I can't see you. For me, I'm like in a relationship. I'm planning on having a family, but I don't see it for you.
No, he's a globie. He's not a flat earther. He doesn't even look into that shit. He doesn't even let me talk about it. And I'm afraid to ask him because he might get up and leave. But do you know that the earth is flat? Oh, okay, never mind.